suitcases of clothing to sell. I was a consultant in another field, but that was my passion. Finally, I traveled to New York and bought 6 industrial sewing machines and set up a sewing facility in Abidjan. I was inspired by the fashion industry in Abidjan, which I think is the best in Africa. And I wanted to be part of that. So I set up my sewing facilities. Unfortunately, I faced several challenges. The main challenge was I had a high staff turnover with the tailors, who were always looking at working with Ivorian companies. Fast forward to 2014, I registered my current company, Adonai Ventures Sierra Leone Limited, in June of 2014 in Freetown. Unfortunately, soon after I registered it, Ebola stopped, and I could not do anything with the company. In fact, I was away. I had to leave Sierra Leone for almost a year. In 2016, having returned to Freetown, I started the business by designing fabrics. I said, let me go into fabrics. I have several fruits and vegetables in my compound, and I decided to send the designs and photographs to India, having made contact in India, for them to design fabrics for me, which they did. And in 2017 to 2019, I imported about 15,000 meters of the fabrics that I designed. I imported and sold them in Sierra Leone, and they are loved by many women. In 2018, I decided to add women's accessories to my product line, handbags, fans, and other accessories. And it was very, very good. The business was very good. UNIDO has become a new friend, because last November 2019, I was fully sponsored to participate in the World Entrepreneurs Investment Forum in Bahrain. I had to look up in a map where Bahrain was when I received the invitation and the sponsorship. That was, and I traveled to Bahrain for the first time, November 10th to 13th, 2019, and interacted with hundreds of other entrepreneurs. I had the opportunity to meet with investors, and I was able to pitch my business to them. I would advise them, if they're trying to get into the textiles and fashion industry in particular, that they should start small. The COVID-19 has impacted that industry in no small measure. So if they want to go into that industry, I mean, that's their passion, that's their interest, no problem, because clothing will always be needed. But they must exercise some caution, and they should be flexible and take advantage of the opportunities in the market. For example, because of COVID-19, many tailoring and garment facilities are now producing face masks instead of the regular clothing. As social activities have been banned in so many countries, so people don't produce clothing at the moment. But they can look into the possibilities, what exists, what is applicable in the market that they want to operate.
Thank you very much for the beautiful presentation and the testimonials of Miss Agatha Johnson. We heard her story, her success story, and her entrepreneurship journey, that what she did in the past few years. Sorry, I didn't introduce myself in the first place. I should have done it before. I am Enes Ostoprak, the Capacity Building Officer at Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum. I'm working in ICOF since 2017, and currently I'm doing projects in Modulo IC, and also I'm also helping in the other project as much as I can. So today's session, as we start with Miss Agatha Johnson, we have two more guests, as I mentioned before. After we have seen the video presentation of these two guests, I'll be leaving the floor to our three speakers to briefly talk about their feelings and their experiment about this program as well. Then we will be leaving the floor to the Q&A session, of course, and our attendees can ask their questions on the Q&A box. And then we, inshallah, at the end of the session, I'll be directing these questions to our valuable participants. So moving on with Miss Maisa Al Gawas from Bahrain, with the presentation of Miss Maisa. So my colleague, Mr. Suleiman, please. Yes, thank you.
Hello, my name is Maisa Al-Gawas and I am an interior decorator. I'm the founder and creative director of Playworks Decor. I have started this journey around 13 years ago as a stay-at-home mom, and with nothing, not a capital, no knowledge, no support. Everybody said that I should stay a stay-at-home mom and that they thought the idea would not work. My first business was about customizing furniture and decor for kids, and at first I didn't get any kind of support, and I was missing a few things like self-confidence about it and the knowledge on how to start a business plan, like how to even get it done, how to start a business. So Unido provided me the confidence I needed. They taught me the knowledge, the how-to of starting your business plan and starting your business. I found the support I needed from them all these years, actually, not only then. It was an amazing networking opportunity. Until this day, whenever I need anything, I just give them a call and they give me the right connections, they give me the right knowledge, connect me to the right suppliers and so on. I remember winning the first prize for the best business plan that year. So armed with that, I started my first business with partners. It lasted for 6 years before I left the partnership and started my own business, which is Playworks Decor. Our location is in El Riyadat. We have had a lot of support from our country, from various organizations, and that helped us with dealing with the COVID-19 situation. We took our business online, decreased our costs, and found new ways to market and reach our clients. I'm very grateful that it actually was a blessing in disguise, so that's good. My advice to entrepreneurs, especially women, starting in my field or any field, don't stop at no. Don't expect support from friends or family. I mean, it's great if you got it, but don't expect it. Go to the right people, find mentors, and always learn. Never stop learning, and seek out help from places like Unido and other organizations. Best of luck.
Thank you, Miss Maisa Al Gawas, for her beautiful presentation. Actually, this kind of programs reminds us like the biggest effect of this COVID-19, especially to the economies, middle and small businesses, and also in this kind of events that we can see how people are changing their strategies to reach out more clients, because this is the first time that we see such kind of challenge in our lives. Of course, there's a health issue on the side, but there's a side impacts of this COVID-19 to the small and middle size businesses. So it's good to hear from entrepreneurs that how they shift their strategy, how they find a new ways to find a new customer and reach out more people. And in the point of different geographical differences. You can see one from Sierra Leone, one from Bahrain, and one from Istanbul, London. So you can also see the different types of strategies, how they implement according to their geographies as well, because it differs. It could be different in Sierra Leone, it could be different in Bahrain, and of course it's going to be different in Istanbul and in London as well. So lastly, Miss May Dinç video presentation, then after that I'll be leaving the floor firstly to Miss May Dinç for her to speak. So my colleague Mr. Sulaiman, you can play the video. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Women in Games.
I'm a princess, I beat the boss. Came to see you play with us. Let's write the code, solve the puzzles. Jump, jump, let's level up together. Who's in games? Women in games. Who's in games? Women in games. Who's in games? Women in games. We are in games. I'm a princess, I beat the boss. Came to see you play with us. Let's write the code, solve the puzzles. Jump, jump, let's level up together. Who's in games? Women in games. Who's in games? Women in games. Who's in games? Women in games. We are in games. Who's in games? Women in games. Who's in games? Women in games. Who's in games? Women in games. We are in games.
Thank you for this enthusiastic video presentation from Miss May Dinç. Actually, like e-gaming, e-sport is kind of my thing as well, and it's good to see that women is also get involved with this gaming issue, and gaming industry is something that is going on. It's really big. It's a really big industry. It's over $3 billion for now, over worldwide, and also in Turkey as well. It's going. It's a going on business. So it's good to see someone from gaming industry. Thank you, Ms. May Dinç, and I'll be leaving the floor to you. Welcome, Ms. May Dinç.
Thank you so much for your invitation. I'm so excited to be with you today. And hello, all. I'm super excited. I'm a game producer and co-founder of Recontact Games. I've started this business almost 6 years ago. When I entered the gaming industry with Recontact, I saw lack of diversity, and I saw that the very few women interested in the gaming industry.
Definitely, yes.
As a game producer, I've always believed that this gaming industry is enriched by different disciplines, different backgrounds. So I started Women in Games Turkey. I established Women in Games Turkey almost 5 years ago. And first of all, our first event, we were super excited. We share posts on social media, and we make collaborations with some universities. But in our first event, just 3 women came and 30 men came to our Women in Games event in Istanbul. So we said that, okay, we realized that we need to go to all universities in Turkey, visit them, tell the stories, show the role models and how they engage and how they can create value in this industry. Because as you said, when we look at the global gaming industry, it has been reached 160 billion annual revenue. It's amazing. See, when you see the cinema industry, Hollywood, it's
yes.
it's just 40 billion. The gaming industry, 160 billion can generate revenue. So we said that, okay, there's a huge opportunity for Turkish people, and we start to travel all around Turkey with collaboration with universities, and we are still keep doing it. And also we created Hacking the Future hackathon, where we invited game developers, scientists, artists, social entrepreneurs to create games for better future. And we made a partnership with UNDP, and it was so successful. And this year is the 3rd year of the Hacking the Future. We still, it's an amazing opportunity to come together and create together, because in the gaming industry has an amazing power to reach youth in the 21st century. So we believe that we need to use this power in a good way, to creating good games to reach the people and tell them there is a problem in economic growth, there's a power in zero poverty, because normally the youth, they don't interest in that kind of problems. But when they engage, and if they have a solution, and if they can come together to be part of that solution, they get excited. So we are still have issues, but we are still working on it. When we look at the global gaming industry, our presence like 23%. But the gamers, the mobile gamers, are 52%. Our mobile gamers are women. Women are playing games, but why they don't make it? Why they don't develop? So we have started education platform with Women in Games, and we reached the Women in Games International. So every year we come together to connect, talk about our problems, create new opportunities, and not in the music. You hear that women in games, we are in games. It's not about woman or man issue. It's all about the creative industries. If you are passionate, you can do it. You can make it. Actually, I graduated from business administration, but when I entered the university, I said I won't be happy in that field. So I started to travel the world. I traveled almost 40 countries. I visited the museums, the galleries, the tech expos, because I always want to create games and create. Actually, I didn't know the gaming is a big industry when I was in the university. I was a gamer. I started with Prince of Persia when I was 7. And I believe that I gained my entrepreneur skills while I was playing the games, because in the game, we are all start in the same position. We are all start in the same level. And it's like a luxury of making mistakes. You are making mistakes and game over, and you'll start again. And if you're an entrepreneur, it's okay to make mistakes if you learn it, and if your character is gaining more power. So yeah, maybe that's enough for 5 minutes. I need to sum up, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Thank you, Miss Maydinch, for her beautiful speech. Actually, I myself, like, as a game, I mentioned before, and gaming industry is before, when I was a kid. I remember when I was a teenager, my mom always telling me stop playing games, because she was telling me, okay, you don't, study your lessons, you play games all the time, you just, lose your time. It's a loss of time in general. But now it's something that it can't be ignored. Now it's becoming a profession to be a gamer. I have a lot of friends that they are gamer, and they are making good money, I can say. It's time to time I'm saying, am I too late to shift a career? Maybe I can be a gamer again. I can be a professional gamer, but I said, okay, I'm almost 30, so it's, like, it's too late for me. So gaming industry is kind of growing industry, and it's going really big at the moment. So thank you, Mr. Maydinch. And
I just want to add something. If you're over 21, you should be retired in the esports.
Yes, definitely. It starts between 14 to 15. You should be starting that gaming career. It starts really early. That's sometimes it could be something, very problematic for the families as well, because families, there's not too much awareness on, okay, gaming is something that could be, that you can build a career on, because families still don't know about gaming industry, especially the Turkish families. But when they're in the middle age of 14 to 15, it can be something, that you can make big money of.
As an NGO, we are working with the Turkish government, and now this year the esports will be in the schools, and it will start in the high schools, because we believe that can create an opportunity for them to understand the digital era, so they can enter the digital era more easily with the esports.
That's a beautiful development, actually. That's a beautiful development. I think that Turkey will invest too much in esports as well. We have a big potential in e-gaming. So thank you, Mr. Maydinch. I want to leave the floor to Miss Agatha Johnson for her to get her feelings as well. To 3 minutes, that would be, because we don't want to. I also want to take some questions. There will be a lot of questions from the audience. So Miss Agatha Johnson, if you can take your feelings for 3 minutes, that would be great. Thank you. Can you unmute yourself, Ms. Agata? You're still muted.
Okay, sorry.
Yes, we can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, definitely, we can hear you now.
Greetings, Inez, and the panelists and all the participants from
Thank you.
all over the world. I mean, I see participants from so many places. Yes, I'm very happy though. I'm very happy despite the challenges. I'm very happy that there is some semblance of the COVID easing. It might not be real, but it's because the governments know how to adapt to COVID, and we are taking all the protocols in place. Now,
Sorry, there was a, yes, you may continue.
Yeah, everybody needs clothing. You know, it's a second basic need for anyone. The first is food, and that's for the people in agriculture. But the second is clothing. So whether there is a pandemic or not, whether there is COVID-19, hopefully we will not have any more COVID. Everybody needs clothing. But unfortunately, as we have experienced in this pandemic, people don't go out to shop because of the impact of the pandemic on social activities. So what do? We just have to be creative and look at all the opportunities that are out there. What my company is doing at the moment, because I traveled to India in January to place an order for a container load of fabrics, of my fabrics. I sat down with my producers. We have like 12 designs, 36 colors. By the time I came back in early February, everything blew up in our face, and I couldn't place the order. But then there is an urgent need worldwide, globally, for the face mask. And not only the face mask, the other aspects, the other requirements of the personal protective equipment. So we should look at all the gowns and gloves and boots that are needed not only for the medical sector, but also the industrial sector. So between February and now, we have modified our business plan, which was geared towards fashion. We've modified it, and we are now looking at the PPE. We are not producing the masks as the other fashion houses are doing, but we are looking at all the gowns and all what is needed for the medical sector, the hospitality, that is the hotels, restaurants, and whatever the need, and also the industrial sector. So we are looking at like the Ports Authority, the mining companies, whatever the need for the COVID period and beyond. When once the COVID is over, we hope next year, by mid next year, with a vaccine, hopefully globally, we will be eased off from this COVID. Then we'll go back to fashion. But for now, we are not doing any fashion production. But I hasten to say, I mean, the process of ordering the fashion fabrics, because the social events are now easing off. We are getting all the weddings and church activities that will require those fabrics. So I will advise the young entrepreneurs in the textile and fashion industry to exercise caution and see what is needed currently and plan for beyond COVID. That's what I would advise. That's my perspective.
Thank you so much, Ms. Agata Johnson, for your excellent explanation of your journey as well and of your challenges. Lastly, before we move on to the Q&A session, I would like to call the floor to Ms. Maisa Al-Gawaz from Bahrain. Ms. Maisa, are you with us now?
Hi.
Yes. Hi. Yes, Ms. Maisa, please.
Yeah. So I'm glad to be a part of this. And I do have something to say about the gaming industry and women. I don't know if you work with virtual reality, but I'm a big fan of VR, and I am really good at Beat Saber as well. So, yeah,
Wow.
more and more women. I love it. You know, it's a very good way to relax, to
Great.
bring out all the tension and all, and it's a really good exercise. So I was always wondering why, games are not catering more to women. And you don't need to be very young to play these games. Like more and more women are using VR for sports, for relaxation, meditation, so, and fun. Yeah. So I'm glad you're doing that. So my name is Maisal Hawas, and I'm interior decorator, and I started my business. I have 13 years of experience in it, and you've seen the video that we've done. I'm currently in my office with my team. If you can see them working there. I hire mostly women, not because it's intentionally done, but I found out we have the softer kind of touch when it comes to design. So it's nice. Do let me know if you have any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And yeah, we're looking forward to expanding into product design, doing our own line of products and linens. It is a challenging market. Especially now with with COVID and all, but thankfully we have been lucky because of the way people's behaviors have changed. So they're sitting at home now instead of traveling, and their kids are sitting at home and instead of going to school. So they're paying more attention to their homes, and then they want to. Now they're noticing all the things that need designing, that need completing. So thankfully we get clients. We found another, like we were more into commercial and big projects. So now we're taking more and more smaller projects, creating your own studying at home or working at home corner, just teaching people how to make their homes a place where they can relax and they can reflect, and it should be a haven. People usually try to escape their surroundings and home and work by traveling, and which now is not possible. So yeah, we do enjoy that. We do enjoy taking on projects that has more of the well-being of our clients.
Thank you so much, Ms. Maisal Gawas, for her speech as well. Now, I want to move on with the Q&A. We have plenty of questions from our audience. Starting with, there's a question to Ms. Johnson, Ms. Agatha Johnson. Ms. Buhle Mafusa from South Africa, she's asking which strategies can women use to evolve and adapt despite many challenges they face via COVID, pandemic, family, and finances?
Yes, I noticed that that question. It's an interesting question. And it's quite broad because I don't know whether she's referring to women involved in the textile and fashion industry or just in general, because, we all are trying to cope with COVID, the pandemic, family, finances. So I want to look at finances. If you're in business, I would advise that you look at the various funding opportunities that are available as a result of COVID. Yes, we are all upset and impacted about COVID, but there is a bright light at the end of it, because a lot of institutions, for us in Sierra Leone, I applied between May and June, I applied to 9 funding opportunities to expand my business, and they were all COVID related. So I would advise, I believe she's based in South Africa, to look at the funding opportunities that have come up, which normally without COVID would not have existed. But look at what is available and see what you can do if you are in business. You didn't explain. She didn't specify whether she's in business or not. For family, because of the COVID, we tend to develop better relationships with our families. We try to check on them to ensure, even though we don't visit as often as possible, like I have my sister here in Freetown. Usually I would visit her over the weekends, but for the past 3-4 months, I haven't because of the COVID protocols. But the relationship is stronger and we are more caring long distance because of COVID. And for the COVID, we just have to react, or we just have to address all the protocols that are in our different countries as a result of the pandemic, all the different protocols. So that's what I would say.
Thank you, Ms. Agatha Johnson. There's one question from UNIDO office, UNIDO ITPO Bahrain office to Ms. Simai. They would like to know more about the gaming in schools program, how it's going to now with your organization. And they also added to a nice speech to their question as well. So Ms. Simai, the floor is yours.
Thank you for the question. This is a new program, and Turkish Esport Federation, Oyunder is a Turkish Game Association, and Women in Games work together for that opportunity. And also in the school, there are 2 opportunities. One, it's to being a gamer. You can play games and make money, and you can be a and the other side is being a game developer. You can make games. So there's 2 sides. So one, we are giving opportunity to learn how to code, game design, and that kind of elements. The other side is being a gamer. So when we look at the gamers in the high schools, when the parents let them play, they are successful in the schools, they earn their money, and they are very successful in esports. But when their family makes scripts, when they say there are no permission, you can't play. So he can't be a gamer, he can't be successful in the school. So please, to the families, don't take the computer, or don't make an excuse, or please let them play. So I can also give a reference, UK's project, UK Interactive Entertainment's project, which is Digital Schoolhouse program. That was a 4 years program, and they started 4 years ago. They started esports lesson 4 years ago, and I can share results with you. I can just write in the Q&A the name of the program, and you can see the results and you can see the projects.
Follow-up question from Ms. Agatha Johnson, just if you can answer it so quickly. Do you have a projects in Africa? I might need your services next year. That Ms. Agatha Johnson to Ms. Smajdinch. She's asking if you have any projects for Africa for the next years. Ms. Smajdinch, are you here?
Sorry, for me.
Yeah, it was for you. Ms.
Yes.
Agatha Johnson is asking you whether if you have a project for Africa.
Sorry, I made a mistake. It's the question is for Ms. Maisa.
Sorry. I misunderstood.
I wrote the wrong name.
Okay, I misunderstood. Okay, I misunderstood.
What's
Interior decorator.
yeah.
First, Ms. Maisa, let me ask the questions from the participants. Then I'll be I'll be asking the follow-up question from Ms. Agatha Johnson. So our last question of today's session, due to the time constraints, we cannot take more questions. From Filiketa to Ms. Maisa, what was your motivation to start your business? How did you being able to convince your network to believe in your work? So this is a question to Ms. Maisa.
Okay, this is a really nice question because when I started, I was very young. I was around, I think, 24 or 25. And by then, actually, yeah, I was 25. By then, I had two kids. So, and they were very young. I married very early, and everybody was against me starting my own business. They were like, you don't need to work, you can be a stay-at-home mom. Why would you want to, start your own business? So the reason why everybody worries because, they're worried that you're not going to do a good job, like a great job, and if you start your own business. So I didn't have the confidence when I started. I didn't even know if I should. That's the reason why I contacted Unido. It's because I needed to know how to start a business plan, how to, they don't teach you here in college how to start your own business. They prepare you to be an employee. So we needed something like Unido when it comes to business planning. And also the networking. So meeting other women. Your question is, how did I build the confidence and how did I start? Why did I start my own business? I started my own business because I thought I had a talent, a creative way. I tried working in different fields, and I noticed that I really liked creating interior design and furniture, especially furniture. And I saw that there is a lack in the market when it comes to kids' furniture and decor. So I thought, it's such a waste that you would have a good talent and then nobody's going to benefit from it. You should do something about it. And if you don't know how, you should seek out mentors, you should seek out people like, your organizations that can help you. So now the next part of your question is, how did I build the confidence to convince others that I am good? Now, first of all, you have to convince yourself. So how do you know if you're good enough? You have to try, educate yourself. It's not enough to have a degree. You really need to work on educating yourself and learning more, trying out your ideas on different people. I started with family and friends. And when I saw the very positive feedback, then I thought, wow, okay, I can actually do that. People really like it. We have expanded from working at homes and furniture and, just interior for houses into big commercial ideas. But I still like kids furniture and decor. So that was my first business. So I even designed the first cinema for kids in Bahrain. It's called Cinekids, and we did so many very unique projects. By the way, we also designed a VR place in 2 malls here. So yeah, we designed it. You can find it on my Instagram account. We did it in a very futuristic neon punk Tokyo, and they're currently now getting it done, executing it. So these are the projects I get very excited about. So yeah, I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much, Miss Maisa. There was one question from Miss Agata, but I think she forwarded you from the chat box. If you can check Miss Agata's question. Due to the time constraint, I have to leave the floor for the closing ceremony. And before I leave the floor, I would like to thank to our valuable speaker who were present their stories, who share their personal experiences with us, with our valuable participants today. And it was the last session of our 4 days program, Young Women Entrepreneurship online training program. And we have come to a conclusion. Inshallah, we will be having the closing ceremony right after the session, and then our program will be end. So